What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Stephen Bardo, coming at you with another edition of Bardo's Breakdown. Hope you guys doing well this week. It's been a few days since I've come to you, I know. But I haven't forgotten about you. Just been a little busy. Alvin Davis, Ole Big Papa, CY Markham. What's up, CY? Good to see you, man. So yeah, man, it's been good. Been busy. But we got a lot of things that we want to get to, so let's check it out. This is one that I kind of thought was interesting. Based on Kyrie Irving coming back last night, I believe he had 37 or 38 points in their loss. They lost in double overtime to the Cavaliers. Don't sleep on the Cavs. They're much improved. Meredith Evans, good to see you. So Nets lose first game with the trio intact. They played heavy minutes. It'd be interesting to see. I'm definitely interested in you guys' take on some of these situations here. Matt Gertzmeyer, good to see you. But I was intrigued because James Harden had a triple-double. And I know I said something about him being a point guard and not really being able to share their basketball. He's done a fantastic job. And I think I get skewed sometimes when I watched him at Houston. I just thought he was too offensively aggressive and didn't set up his teammates. That's incorrect. He's an excellent setup guy. He did so last night. I believe he had 12 assists. KD shot the ball very well, but defensively, they could not slow down. Colin Sexton, I believe, had a career-high 43 points on them. So it's going to be interesting. Lack of depth, lack of size up front, and can these guys coexist chemistry-wise? Remain to be seen. Let's get to the standings real quick. The NBA East, the Sixers, 10-5. They're number one in the East. Number two are the Milwaukee Bucks at 9-5. Number three are the Celtics at 8-5. Even though Jason Tatum has missed a number of games due to COVID protocol, Jaylen Brown has stepped his game up, ladies and gentlemen. He is playing like many thought he would, elevating his potential. I mean, he's got the ultimate green light. He's playing his tail off. Number four, the Pacers at 8-6. Zoomer Sports was good. Number five, the Warriors at 8-6. Or I'm sorry, the Nets at 9-7. So the Nets, if they can get their chemistry situation together, I know I didn't have them picked to come out of the East, but with this trade, and I've seen them play now once with all three, but I saw them play with KD and Harden, and they beat the Bucks without Irving. So I think that could be a harbinger of things to come. Kenny Williams, good to see you. Colin Sexton was just incredible last night, only if he was on the Warriors roster. CY Markham, also, that's your team, the Golden State Warriors. Okay, I got you. Colin Sexton was out of his mind last night, played an outstanding game. Tina Strong, what's happening? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So the Sixers first, Bucks second, Celtics third, Pacers fourth, Nets fifth. Let's jump over to the NBA West. The Clippers 11-4, first place. Lakers 11-4, second place. The Jazz. I don't know if many of you thought that Utah Jazz would be in this position in the third spot, 10-4 in the West. Fourth is 8-5 Phoenix Suns. And then lo and behold, Golden State Warriors, 8-6. What's up, Jordan Nash? Good to see you, man. Come on now. Y'all got to give it up to Golden State. Everybody thought they would be once Clay went down. Didn't think they'd compete in the West. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Kelly Oubre, James Wiseman have something to say about that. Will Wendell Carter Jr. be a top 10 center by next year? No. He's going to get better at Zoomer Sports, but he won't be top 10 yet. Charlie James, 277, Stan T.O. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Appreciate it. All right. So I just want to get through the stuff that I have to post, and then we'll get into the questions. So that's it for the NBA stuff here. Let me go to the AP top 10 in men's college basketball. Gonzaga, number 1. Baylor, 2. Villanova, which has had an extended period based on multiple COVID situations. They're 3. Iowa out of the Big Ten is number 4. Texas is number 5. Tennessee is number 6. Juwan Howard and Michigan Wolverines are doing a fantastic job at number 7. Houston, which avenged an earlier loss with a blowout win last night against Tulsa, they're 8. They are a scary number 8 in the country. Kansas, number 9, and Wisconsin, number 10. That rounds out the AP top 10 for men's college basketball. Let me get to the Big Ten real quick. And I went 7 deep in the Big Ten because there's 7 teams that are ranked. So Michigan, number 1 at 7-1. They top the Big Ten conference right now. Iowa's number 2 at 6-1. Wisconsin, number 3 at 6-2. Illinois, number 4 at 6-3 in the conference. Number 5 is Purdue in the Big Ten conference at 6-3 as well. Number 6 is Ohio State at 5-4. 7 is Minnesota at 4-4. And the reason I went 7 deep is because these teams are either have been ranked or are currently ranked. The Gophers are still ranked in the top 25. That's why I went 7 deep on the Big Ten standings. Is Juwan Howard the most underrated coach in the NCAAs? Zoomer Sports, I don't think that he's underrated right now because people are seeing what Michigan is doing and how complete of a team they are, and they wouldn't be there without Juwan being at the helm. So I think that maybe at the beginning of the year, Zoomer Sports, that Juwan was underrated, but I think that the cat's out of the bag now. Dan Dockich has done a good job of pointing out how well Juwan Howard has done. I thank the NBA for not giving him a head coaching position. I said this on national television, that I was glad that the NBA did not see fit to give Juwan Howard what he deserved, was a head coaching position in the NBA. And so we benefit from it at the college level, in particular in the Big Ten Conference. So I think that people know now. Dana Taft, good to see you. Big Daddy Bates, what's happening? Thanks for jumping on. Braden 44, you are calling any Iowa games coming up. Braden, I don't think I have Iowa on the schedule as of right now. Let me double check just to make sure. Oh yeah, I do. I got a great one. And the reason I don't know my schedule in advance off the top of my dome is because I approach the season like a lot of players do. I try not to look ahead too much, but I've got a great one. Friday, a week from today, Iowa at Illinois on Fox Sports. So you need to definitely check that one out. Iowa at Illinois on Fox Sports. And that is the only Iowa game that I have in the foreseeable future, Braden. I've got Michigan at Purdue tomorrow. I've got Rutgers at Indiana on Sunday. Wisconsin at Penn State next Wednesday, the 27th. Iowa at Illinois next Friday. And then Rutgers at Northwestern to round out the month of January for me. So I hope that helps you there. If you know what, Braden, if you ever wonder, any of you are ever wondering what my next games are, I typically put my weekly schedule up on like IG and sometimes Bardo's Breakdown avatar. So just go to my avatar on IG has my schedule this week on there. So if you're ever wondering, you can always check that out and go to that. But thanks for that question. I appreciate that. Nikki Lane Perkins, what's up, Nikki? Are you doing any Illinois games soon? Dana Taft. Dana, I don't know if I'm going to share it anyway. Illinois is trying to schedule another game on Saturday because their game against Michigan State was postponed due to COVID protocols. They've been trying to set up a game. And if that changes, if they get that game set up, I'll be on the call Saturday afternoon, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. We don't know who it's going to be against yet, but I will be on that Illinois game if there is indeed a game that is scheduled. So, Dana, thank you for that question as well. Charlie James, 277, can you expound more with Brad Underwood talking about the Illini lack of toughness, and where does that come from? Well, the Illini, according to According to Brad Underwood, he's saying their lack of toughness. Toughness, Charlie, in my opinion, can be described a lot of ways. Not hitting your free throws down the stretch is a lack of toughness. Not showing up ready to play games with the amount of intensity and effort you need in the Big Ten Conference, night in and night out, that's a lack of toughness. And I believe that that's what he's referring to more than anything, Charlie, is the slow starts that the Illini have gotten and the fact that he's got to yell at them sometimes, not all the times, but I've seen where Brad Underwood has had to really get after his guys to get them to respond. He's got to light a fire under their asses to get them to play the way that they can play up to their potential. That's a recipe for disaster, and he knows it. That's why he's bringing it up. That's why he's making it known, because he wants his players to understand, guys, you have to take the mantle on this. I can't scream my lungs out every freaking game to get you guys ready to play. This is what you came to Illinois to do, is to play on this stage. It's not my responsibility to reach in and scare you or threaten, to put you on the bench to get you to play hard. And unfortunately, Charlie, playing hard is a skill set at the college level. It's a skill set at the pro level. When I played, that was a given. You couldn't play if you didn't play hard. That's a skill set now, unfortunately. And what Brad Underwood is trying to do is to get these guys to take ownership, right? He wants them to take ownership. So that's, I think, what he's referring to. CY Markham, what's up with Illinois starting off slow? And then in the start of the second half, they have this energy and they look like a championship team. You know why, CY? Because when they have these slow starts and they go into the halftime locker room, you all aren't privy to what these college coaches are saying to these players. He might be throwing furniture. He might be cussing them out. He might be challenging their manhood. But all these coaches know they know their team. They know the individual players and what can get up under their skin to rattle them a little bit, to maybe embarrass them a little bit, to challenge their manhood. Whatever he's got to do, whatever buttons he's got to push, that's what typically happens in the locker room. So when you see a team like Illinois that's sleepwalking at Northwestern, and then they come out and the score in the second half was 53-13. Northwestern is a quality Big Ten team. But when you play the first half that they played, and then you come back in the same game and you outscore a home team. This is a road game for the Illini. When you score 53 points and you hold your opponent to 13 in one half, that's nothing to be proud of, because that means you were BSing, you were lollygagging, you weren't busting your ass in the first half. That's what that indicates. I don't know if you guys have seen, it's not Boys in the Hood. It's, I always forget the name of this movie, but Bill Duke is in an interrogation room. He said, you done messed up now, don't you? Because when Illini fans, when Illini coaching staff, when they see the Illini play like that, you're 18 to 22 years old. You have no reason not to play hard like that every game. Your shot's not going to be there all the time. You can turn the ball over. You have an opponent that might have your number that night. It means nothing about how hard you play. Okay? That's what that is. I know that was long, but I want to give you what I thought was a good answer to that question. My man, wait a minute, Jordan Nash. Okay, do you think Iowa's the most underrated, appreciated team in the country, or is Michigan that team for you? Jordan Nash, former Northwestern great. Jordan, I think that a lot of times when you see me go national television and I am privy to these national conversations, I don't know that when people talk about national title contenders, I don't hear Iowa's name brought up. And I think it should be. We know what Iowa is in the Big Ten. We know what they are. Elite offensive team. much improved defensive team, right? Traditionally, they haven't been a juggernaut on the defensive end, but this year they're a lot better. Okay. They're good enough to win. I think they're good enough to challenge for a national championship. I think they're a Final Four caliber team. Now, will they live up to that? We'll see. But I think they're a Final Four caliber team. I don't think there's any question that Michigan is a Final Four caliber team. Let me look up real quick there. Ken Palm splits. Ken Palm, that those that are on Bardo's breakdown have heard me mention Ken Palm quite a bit. He is the analytics guru that I use because I think he's the best in the business. I don't think it's close. So right now, Michigan, he has Michigan as number 4 in the – Iowa's number 3, and Michigan is number 4 in Ken Palm. Why is that? Because on the tempo-free analytics that Ken Palm generates, his system, Michigan is the number 7 most efficient offensive team in the country, and they're the 8th most efficient defense in the country. They're top 10 in both offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency. This will tell you a lot about a team if you look at their offensive and defensive splits. Now, you saw that about Michigan. Let's look at Iowa. Iowa is the number 1 offensive efficiency team in the country, and they're 73rd defensively. So their defensive numbers are low, but when you're the number 1 offensive efficiency team in the country, and I know that I say this all the time, defense wins championships, but the last time I checked, the team that has the most points wins the game. Iowa is I'll call them a good defensive team. I won't call them elite. I won't call them great, but I think they're good enough. So, Jordan, I hope that answers your question. I think that people now understand how good Michigan is. I still think people kind of sleep on Iowa nationally based on their reputation from their defense, not from what they've seen this year. Because if they've watched Iowa 2 or 3 times this season, you will know that this is one of the premier teams in all of college basketball. Hold on, Bardo's breakdown family. I'm coming. I just want to knock out my IG people because they don't get the statistic. They can't see. Join the tribe. If you want to join the tribe, text me at 312-847-2379. 312-847-2379. Or you can go to facebook.com/Bardo's breakdown. Bardo's breakdown. Facebook.com/Bardo's breakdown. If you want to be a member of the tribe. So hold on, tribe. I'm coming. AAU culture, Bardo. Talent does not necessarily translate to toughness. Kenny Williams, preach, brother. Michael Colburn. What's up, Mike? Good to see you on there, man. Glad you could join. Nate McSmith, good to see you. Bentus, African hair braiding. What's going on, y'all? How you doing? Thanks for jumping on. Hope you well. Menace to Society. Thank you, Charlie. Bill Duke and Menace to Society. You know you're effed up now, don't you? That is one of the best movie scenes ever. That's like a dad talking to his son. You know you didn't effed up now, don't you? You know you didn't messed up. Because you showed me what you could do. Now you can't go back to lollygag. You can't go back to half-assing. I've seen what you can do. That is it. Thank you, Charlie. Braden, I don't call games from home. What happens is Kevin Kugler, Brandon Gowden, and then the ESPN people, they have studios at home. I don't have a studio at home. I go to Big Ten Network headquarters, and that's where we call the games. They've taken individual locker dressing rooms, and they've turned them into individual broadcasting booths. So it's very safe. We're in a room by ourselves, and even in the office itself, in the network's offices, they've done a fantastic job of safety. So they have things on the floor where you walk this way if you're going to the restroom, you walk this way if you're going out. So it's very well done. So I don't call games from home. If I did, Braden, I'd be calling them from right here. I call games in the Big Ten Network studios, headquarters and studios. Kevin Kugler, because he lives in Omaha, Brandon Gowden, because he lives in Atlanta, they have home setups. So that's what it is. But I call games from the studio. Obviously, it probably sucks not going there, but maybe it's nice not having to travel so much. Braden, the travel aspect, you're spot on. I don't miss the travel whatsoever. But I do. I called the Maryland at Michigan game at Ann Arbor, and they did a really good job. They had plexiglass between Lisa and I, had us separated very well. We were off the floor. We could see everything. And I think I'm the best in the business. I think I'm the best college basketball or NBA analyst for seeing things that the camera doesn't pick up. I think I'm the best in the business at that. And what that allows me to do is to project what could happen next. I'm the best at that as well. So I think I'm the best college basketball analyst or basketball analyst in the business, period. I think I'm the best. So that may come off as pompous. That may come off as arrogant. I don't think it's arrogant. I think I'm the best at that. And so, Braden, to answer your question, when I'm at a game, it's awesome because I can see a lot of stuff. I'm excellent at reading body language. I know when a coach is pissed off. I know when a player is mad he didn't get a pass. I can tell when there's something that's happened between teammates off the court and they brought it on the court. I can see it. So that's the only thing that I really miss. And I miss the interaction with the players and the coaches, obviously, because that's the best part of the business. That's the best part of the job. In addition to getting paid very well for what I do, I miss the personal interaction with the players and coaches the most because I'm a former hooper. I miss that interaction. So I hope that answered your question. Should a coach have to clown to motivate? Isn't there a level of self-motivation? Nikki, yes, great question. Yes, there is. But this is the generation that we have raised. We can't blame the kids. Got to blame the soft-ass parents. We did this. So don't blame the kids. Don't blame the teams for coming out soft and slow, and the coaches got to get after them and threaten them to inch of their lives and get them to play hard. That's the parents. That's not the coaches. Let's not blame the kids. That's us. Soft-ass parents. So there is a level of self-motivation. And the players that have it, God bless them. The players that don't, I don't necessarily knock them because I want to look at who raised them. We have to take ownership. The parents, my generation, that raised these kids that are 18 to 22 years old, that are playing college sports, that don't seem to have the inner motivation. That has to be developed. That has to be cultivated. There has to be an environment that supports that. And if parents don't hold your kids accountable, how the hell is a college basketball coach going to hold them accountable? They can't. They can cajole them. They can threaten them. They can, they can do all that, but it's got to come from within. So great question, Nikki, as always. Nikki Lane Perkins is an original Bardo's Breakdown Tribe member. Her and her brother Donovan, they've been fantastic to the group and to the show. They've really helped me grow the show. And if you all want to be a part of that, join Bardo's Breakdown on Facebook, the group. Go to Bardo's Breakdown Facebook group. Join that group. I'm telling you, I don't harass you. I don't blow you up with a bunch of crap. We just come with hard facts on basketball because the tribe are knowledgeable basketball people. They may not even be former players, but they know the game and they know what they're looking at. So if you guys want to join, jump on. All right, Bardo's Breakdown Tribe. Thank you guys for being very, very patient. Love you all. Donovan Lane, good morning, good evening from Singapore. Who's got folks from Singapore coming in every single show? The only time that Donovan misses a show is when he has something he's got to take care of business-wise. This brother supports the show from Singapore. Love you, Donovan. Always great to see you, man. Thank you so much. Vera Jones. Listen, if you guys are on LinkedIn and you want some inspirational, informational content to get you through the day or get you motivated, Coach Vera Jones, check her out. VER, first name, Jones. All right. Vera, if you're on IG or Facebook, can you put your link in so that people can find you and they can follow you? Kenny Kim, what's good? Because Vera brings the funk, y'all, in a great way. I mean, she's bringing information. She's inspiring people. You know, she does a lot of good things. She's a colleague of mine. When she calls games, you don't want to miss what she's doing. Good to see you, Vera. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the support. Carol Paul Paquette, hello. Having withdrawals from Bardo's breakdown. Listen to you call the Illini games. What's up, Carol? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Happy Thursday, tribe. Kevin Haywood, what's good, Kevin? Also, James Harden went the first quarter without taking a shot. Wonder was the last time this happened. Carol, great point. She's referring to James Harden and the Nets. You know why, Carol? Because I think he understands that it's a ring or bust for James Harden. It's a ring or bust for him. Nina Love, thanks for jumping on. Is it basketball IQ, or do you feel some guys are trying to pad it in the NBA resume? Expound on that a little bit, Charlie. I don't. Is it basketball IQ, or do you feel some guys are trying to pad an NBA resume? Can you expound on that, Charlie? I'll definitely get to that. Nita Love 15-11 was good. I think it's hard to have a complete team as Iowa. All-American 5 with 40% shooting around him that can win big. Great point. Jordan Nash is referring to Iowa having the player of the year and Luka Garza and having guys that can spray that three all around him. So you got to pick your poison with Iowa. Very similar to Michigan. You got to pick your poison with Michigan. Maryland really shut down Hunter Dickinson. Didn't matter. Smith went off. Isaiah Livers went off. Mo Wagner had a very good game. Austin Davis came in, and they were double teaming him, so he went to work one-on-one in the post. So Jordan makes a great point. Iowa can splash you with threes, or they can kill you with Luka Garza inside. So very good point. Harlem Mixtape. Kenny Kim. Ola Steven, did you join Clubhouse yet? Somebody sent me an invitation. Yeah. I joined. I haven't been on there, Kenny. I know it's a great app. I know it's a great platform. I'm trying to master some of these first before I jump into something else. But I'm going to get to that. Jeff's Y311 was good. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. Adams Randall Singer, thanks for jumping on. Iowa will win by double digits tonight against Indiana. I wouldn't doubt it. They just have too much firepower for Indiana, in my opinion. Zoomer Sports says, who is your favorite guy inside the NBA? Shaq, Barkley, the Jet, or Ernie? You know what? I like Ernie Johnson, man. I think Ernie Johnson is the best traffic cop in the business. What I mean, traffic cop means a studio host who can get in and out of stuff, who can give them room, who can snatch it back from them if he needs to, who can get serious, who can have fun. Ernie Johnson's the best. So I like him the most. I like Kenny as well. Kenny brings some levity to that conversation. I like Kenny Smith the best as well. Maury Bland, what's good, Maury? How you doing? Danielle Brooks, HP Native, what's up? Coach Scott Fields, what's happening? Good to see you. Keep bringing the juice, Bardo. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it, man. James Wiseman is going to be a stud. Yes, Carol, I believe he will. Don't sleep on the Warriors. They are 5th in the West right now, 8-6. James Wiseman has something to do with that. Harden had half the shot attempts to Kyrie, 14-28. Nash needs to get Kyrie in Kyrie's ear. Steph is unguardable. Michigan. Well said, Joe Stovall. Good to see you, man. Still don't believe Brooklyn will win it all. I pray they don't. Well, I think a lot of people have the Nets coming out of the East. I can't give them that, y'all. I just can't. I can't see it yet. I know they beat the Bucks without Kyrie, and it was 126-125. But we're talking a 7-game series. And really the only big to back up DeAndre Jordan is Jeff Green. He's 6'9". And in the playoffs, y'all know how it is. All that willy-nilly and all that free movement and all that shit is gone in the playoffs. You got to be half-court oriented. And I got to see that out of the Nets first. So, Donovan, point well taken. Yeah, Greg, I hope you do. How you doing, man? I hope you're hanging in there, bro. Tough time for everybody, man. Keep your head up. Thanks for joining the show, man. Love you. Appreciate you jumping on. Charlie James, I'm shocked when Kofi passes out of a double team. Is it basketball IQ or is it that certain players may be looking? Oh, I see what you're saying, Charlie. He's got to pass out of the double team. Kofi has to play on eggshells. Guys that big in the college basketball, they don't officiate them right. So bigs can't get big. They can't get loose and free and aggressive like they want to because college basketball officials don't officiate bigs correctly, in my opinion. And I think Kofi's basketball IQ is a lot higher than he's given credit for. So, I think Kofi's fine, man. I think he's all right. Colin Sexton, he is a beast, says Jay Hood. Who does he remind you of in basketball's past? I don't think Colin Sexton is a beast, Jonathan Hood. I think he's talented. I still don't think he knows how to play. He was never taught to play the game until he got to the NBA level. He's starting to learn how to play. I think he's talented. Who does he remind me of in basketball's past? Maybe World Be Free. Who's another gunner that didn't necessarily have a lot of basketball knowledge? That's a good question, Jay Hood. I gotta think about that one. But when Sexton learns how to play the game, he's gonna be a problem. But right now, I think he's just a talented scorer that's kind of just out there. Don't sleep on the Cleveland Cavaliers, though. They're much improved. This is Jay Hood from ESPN 1000 Zoomer Sports. Jay Hood is a faithful listener. I always appreciate you being on the show and also being interactive, Jay Hood. Thank you, brother. Love you. You forgot to mention Kentucky, Duke, and North Carolina in your poll, says Jeff Jarvis. Jeff Jarvis, original tribe member, knows that it was the first time since 1961 that Duke, Kentucky, and North Carolina were not in the top 25 AP college basketball polls since 1961. That's 7 years before. That's 60 years ago. That's a long time for Duke, Kentucky, or North Carolina to not be in the AP top 25. Great call there, Jeff. Good to see you, brother. Maury Bland, what's up, Maury? Good to see you. Maury's an up-and-coming play-by-play analyst or play-by-play commentator. You will hear about him in the near future, I guarantee it. Joe Stovall talking about Michigan playing Wisconsin, beat them by 20 plus. Michigan's the real deal, Joe. They are the real deal. Carrie D. What's up, Carrie? How you doing, babe? Love you. That's my sister, y'all. It's one of my sisters. Carrie D on here. Jeffrey Bork, Illinois needs to play complete 40 minutes to beat Iowa. Jeffrey, you got that right, because here's the deal. You don't see Iowa coming out getting down by 15 in the first half. You know why? Because Luka Garza won't let them. He's got a motor that whenever you're on the floor with Luka Garza, if you aren't playing hard, it's going to show and you'll be quickly on the bench. So great point, Jeffrey. That's why Iowa doesn't come out. You don't see them, running in mud. They may not be shooting the ball well. Garza may get in foul trouble. They still play hard, right? And I think mainly because of Garza and his intestinal fortitude. Fran McCaffrey didn't have to tell him to work hard. He busted his tail his whole life. His parents provided an environment for him to develop that. He had that when he came to Iowa. I'm not saying the guys at Illinois don't, but somebody has got to step up in that locker room and get them ready to start the games because they have the ability to do the same thing. Let's see. I still think James Harden will eventually convert back to James Harden. It's a new situation. He's trying to be a team player, but that will soon subside. Don Green's got a great point. How long will James Harden not take a shot in the first half? How long will he be content to just be the setup guy, the point guard, and get KD and Kyrie off? How long will he be content to do that? Very good question, Don. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, Carol. Keep me posted, Carol, if you see that, because you may hear something before I do. If you hear something, let me know, because that means I'll be in Champaign 11 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Central on Saturday. Let's see. Jawan must have fun coaching his versatile, talented bigs. I love Hunter Dickinson. He's from out here in Alexandria, Virginia. Iowa versus Michigan in March, maybe for the Big Ten regular season title. Michael Payne, you spot on with that. Jawan is having a great time, Michael, and you can tell that he's working with those bigs. Not only Hunter Dickinson, Austin Davis, Brandon Johns Jr. looks like a different guy in the post. So Michigan's bigs are really, really benefiting from Juwan Howard's tutelage. Great call on that. And Iowa and Michigan looks like that could be for the regular season title. Things will change between now and then, Michael, but those two teams appear to be the elite of the Big Ten Conference. I agree with you. M. Connor 333, thanks for jumping on. I see you, but I don't think he can see the Facebook side. Okay. I have problems going on the Bardo's Breakdown group. Normally I go to the recreation page, but can't find it. Okay. What's up, Chef Brian X? Good to see you, man. Yeah, they're having a hard time getting started, but if they want to contend and do what they can do, Chef, they gotta bring it to start the games. He can't see mine on the group page, but can on the recreation page. Went to the recreation page, didn't see this live going, wow, okay. Thanks for that feedback. I appreciate that. The recreation page is Bardo's Breakdown page. The Bardo's Breakdown group is a different situation, Don. I think that's what they're referring to. Is there any word on what the NCAA tournament will look like? We're still having it, right? Yes, Anastasia. The NCAA tournament will all take place in the state of Indiana. So Butler University, Indiana University, Purdue University, IUPUI, the Bankers Life Fieldhouse where the Pacers play, and Lucas Oil Stadium where the Colts play will all be sites for the NCAA. And they will be coming out. Hinkle Fieldhouse will be, I believe, in the first 4 of the games, but they will all take place in the state of Indiana, and they will all, it'll be right around the same time. I believe Selection Sunday is March 14th, Anastasia. And I got my old ass with my bad knees out there running this morning in that 30-degree weather. So you'll be proud of me, Anastasia. They still have the game on Facebook. Liberty had me cracking up talking about you all Blazers. Charlie, do you still have the game on Facebook? No, don't have the game. Spencer, what's good, man? Good to see you on there. Zoomer Sports, I'm not sure whether they're going to have fans in the stands. That's a great question. I think they're going to probably wait to the very last moment to make that decision. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. Joe Stovall, Illinois is not accustomed to being the hunted. Money Movers 84, thanks for joining. Being the favorite in the majority of your games and not playing like a favorite is an indication of anxiety and fear. Okay. Until the Illini accept the role of the favorite and attack their opponents from the jump, they will continue to struggle. Great points, Joe Stovall. Great points. I didn't think about the anxiety and fear. I didn't understand that. And there does need to be a mind shift when you go from being the underdog, the scrappy guy, trying to fight your way into contention, to now you're here in contention. You have to have a different mindset. And Joe makes a great point. I'm not sure the Illini have adjusted their mindset to be one of the elite, going from hunter to being the hunted. It's a great point, Joe. Great point. Yep, Carol, I got you. I got your comment. I was finally able to go to the sports and recreations group. For some reason, Bardo's breakdown page doesn't work with my comments. You know what? There was a post that I made earlier today. You can go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, I believe it is, and they will show your Facebook profile. All you do is hit a button and boom, you're good. So, pardon me, www.streamyard.com/Facebook. Let me see. I'll put it in the Facebook. Let me put it in the comments here. StreamYard. You have your comments seen on the feed. All right. So I just added that, ladies and gentlemen. So you can go to that if you want your feed to show up like Carol's just did. Iowa is scary now. Bohannon is playing like himself for the last 3 or 4 games. I can't disagree at all with that, Carol. Is it basically the same as the group page? It's called Bardo's Breakdown Recreation. I think it's sports. It's just it's group and page. That's it. There's Bardo's Breakdown group, Bardo's Breakdown page. Estes World, thanks for jumping on. I think it's your first time, Estes World. If it is, welcome to Bardo's Breakdown. Thanks for jumping on. Will there be any conference championships for the lower levels at the NCAA tournament? I doubt it, Don. I'm not certain, but with a lot of programs in the level that I think that you're talking about, the lower level Division I programs, I think a lot of, not a lot, but enough of them have chosen not to play this year, I think. So I don't know if they're going to have conference championships. That's a great question. Yeah, Meredith, I think you're right. That's probably a good call. So I don't know. That's a very good question. I believe they're going to wait to the last possible moment before they make that call, but that's just my opinion. Pierre Poncet Sr. What's up, Pierre? Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping on. These kids are soft and have been coddled, mentally fragile, but extremely athletic. Drop the mic, Donovan. That's a good description of the kids today, in my opinion. They have been coddled by us, and they are a little bit more mentally fragile because we live in a crazy-ass world right now. Jay Hood jumped from here over to IG. Thanks, Jay Hood. Appreciate you. Also heard Coach Underwood was saying he needs to get him more playing time. Seems like now Hawkins is getting his minutes. Sorry for complaining. Just notice Georgie's body language hasn't been the same. You're not complaining. What's up, Greg Simon, ILL? They play Iowa only once in early March. Yes, unbalanced schedule. Chris Paul is doing a great job of making the Suns a contender. Are they a playoff team? What's up, Tarun Reddy? Yes, the Suns are a playoff team. I think, Tarun, the Suns are going to be a playoff team regardless if they got Chris Paul. the way they play in the bubble, I think that was going to spill over to this regular season. But the fact they got Chris Paul does nothing but enhance that. So yes, they are a playoff team in my opinion. Cordell Johnson, what's up, Cordell? If you could do your own version of Inside the NBA, who would co-host with you? Leon Rogers. And if me and Leon Rogers could get on a show and we could curse, we give Inside the NBA a run for their money. Trust me. Leon Rogers is a knowledgeable sports fan, and y'all know he's funny as hell. If me and Leon Rogers could have a show, I don't know if I would want it to stay on this platform, but we get offered so much money. I don't know. Is what we're seeing from Embiid sustainable? I sure hope so. Pierre, you're seeing what he can do. He busted the Celtics, the other night. He was unstoppable. And he wasn't worried about shooting threes all the time. He got his big behind in the box and did work. Fred 239-133, what's good? I hope so, Pierre. Let's hope so. How was it watching the Illini game, the Illinois-Ohio State game with your family? Did you get fired up or were you calm? I didn't actually watch that game with my family, Carol. There are times when, like me and my dad love to watch games together. But there are times like now when we have to do special things for me to see my parents because I don't want them, if I'm asymptomatic or I've been exposed and don't quite know it, I would have a hard time living with myself if I got my parents sick. So we don't watch. Right now, I'm not really watching games with them. So I did not watch that game with them. But I wasn't surprised that EJ Liddell would go off because every player that played that's from the state of Illinois, that if you don't go to Illinois and you go to a school, another Big Ten school, you're always going to come back and give Illinois the business. And EJ Liddell was no exception. Zoomer Sports said me and Leon Rogers could get a show on Barstool Sports, then you guys could curse. Why doesn't Jay-Z or somebody come out with a platform? Right? I ain't knocking Barstool Sports or Bleacher Report or whatever like that. I'm not knocking them, but why isn't there a platform like somebody like me or Leon could get on? Barstool Sports is just, I don't know. It's like they've done very well, Zoomer Sports. I'm not knocking them. But that's a college frat type situation. Nobody's going to Barstool Sports for hard hitting news and, personality, entertaining and all that. To me, Barstool Sports is a bunch of guys taking beers to the noggin and then hitting their head, smashing the can against their head, and people thinking that shit is cool. Man, we need a real platform, man. Where are the young black kids in STEM instead of worrying about TikTok and Snap and looking good? Create a damn platform, please. Where are my black STEM kids? I know they're out there. Can we get a platform? That's all I'm saying. Can I challenge some young black people, young black girls and young black boys who are in STEM? Create a platform. I don't want to be on Barstool Sports drinking a beer and smashing against my head. That don't do nothing for us. I don't know. Y'all caught me there, boy. That was a good rant. Great analysis on Sexton. Totally agree. Talented, but still learning. Imagine if he develops the knowledge of Chris Paul. That'll never happen, Michael. Colin Sexton can never get the basketball knowledge of Chris Paul because that started a long time ago. Colin Sexton would have to, every waking moment of his life from here on moving forward while he played in the NBA, he'd have to lock himself in a room with Chris Paul, watching stuff, having him, nonstop. It ain't gonna happen. He will not have that knowledge. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me see here. Chad Morrison, Illinois needs a leader on the court. They haven't learned how to put teams away yet. Good point. I can't disagree with that. Well, wait a minute. They can put teams away. I've seen them put teams away. My issue with the Illini are that they start out slowly and they build themselves, they dig a hole, and then they have to expend so much energy coming back. Against good teams, you can't always come back because they're too talented. They know how to stop runs. They know how to put you in a position where you might be able to come back from 10, but if you're 15 down, you took too much energy to come back. Now the opposing team gets their sea legs about them, they get their jumpers back. It's too hard. But I think the Illini can close teams out because I've seen them do it. For the NCAA tournament, do you think having the tournaments in one state in the future after COVID would be doable, possibly moving from state to state like the Super Bowl? Pierre, that's a great question. And the March Madness is such a money maker that, for everyone involved, when there are, everybody wants NCAA sites because all the fans come and you need hotels get paid, restaurants get paid, gas stations get paid, clothing, shopping, anything that's around supporting fans around a big event, everybody gets a boost, a bump. Atlanta's still upset that they didn't get last year's Final Four because Final Four sites, they get inundated with cash. You might get between 80 to 120,000 people coming to that area for the Final Four. Imagine how much money is generated from that. So I'm not sure that the NCAA wants to necessarily take that money-making opportunity away from those sites. I don't think they want to. I think they want to keep it the way that it will be. But that's a very good question. Very, very good question. Let me see. Carson James. If you can speak on transfers, do you think the Illini could land Nemari Burnett? I don't even know who that is, Carson. I apologize. See, I can't really speak on that. Jeff's Y311. What do you think of Creighton? I think Creighton is really good. They got beat the other night at home by Providence. So that's 2 in a row that Creighton has dropped. But I love Marcus Zagorowski. Mitch Ballack can really fill it up from the parking lot. I like their team. I really, really like their team. Okay, guys, I think it looks like that's about it. So don't forget. Let me clear this for a second. Where is that comment? Don't forget, y'all, if you want to be a part of Bardo's Breakdown, you want to be a part of the tribe, text me to 312-847-2739. I'm not going to blow your phone up because I'm learning this. I want you guys to join. Okay. All right, for IG, www.streetsaretalking.com is a Black-owned podcast network with listeners from Detroit to Vegas and Africa. My SPS Edge this is my boy. I can see his face. I can see his name right now. Does a great job with Lindsay. What's up, Lindsay? How you doing, man? And was founded by Don Houston, Clarence Barber. Keep up the great show. Lindsay, thank you. Lindsay Huddleston does a really good job, y'all, of covering Michigan State sports. He goes to the games, football and basketball. The head coaches, Izzo, Tucker, they know him personally. If you're interested in Michigan State sports, if I got some Spartans on here, you guys need to check Lindsay Huddleston. He's at SPS Edge Podcast. He does a really good job of covering Michigan State in particular, but Michigan sports overall. Based in Detroit, so he gets a lot of high school stuff there. He does a really good job of covering that region. So SPS Edge, Lindsay, Lindsay Huddleston on Facebook. So go check him out. If you want to join the tribe, 312-847-2739. Join me on the journey. I'm just learning what to do. I don't know exactly how to do it yet, but I'll send you behind the scenes looks. Like when I go to a game, I'll show you what the setup is. I might have a little tidbit that I'll give you because the tribe, y'all been supporting me for years. This hasn't just happened since COVID. The tribe has been following me for 3 or 4 years. I've been doing this show for a long time. So if you want to join, hop on or go to Bardo's Breakdown on Facebook. Join the group. You can join the page too, but join the group because the group gets inside access to a lot of different things related around basketball. And I also give my group my March Madness picks. That's only going to be for my group. I'm not going to put that out like I used to everybody. That's all. Yeah. Oh, Don Green, you're in the tribe. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. So if you want March Madness picks from yours truly, you got to join the tribe. That'll do it. Oh, go to Sportscaster app tonight. I'm going to be on when the Bucks and the Lakers are playing. The Sportscaster app allows you to broadcast NBA games. So it'll look like this, but an NBA game will be up and I can get statistics and everything on the screen. Sportscaster app, sportscaster.com. So that's sportscastr.com. So a sportscaster, take the E out.com. That's a Sportscaster app. It's a wonderful app. I'm going to call the Bucks Lakers game from there at about an hour from now. So I'll send out the link again if you guys want to jump on. But check me out if you want. Bardo's Breakdown, you see it right there. Sportscaster.com. Go to that. Look for me. You'll find me on there. Love you guys. Thanks for joining. Talk to you all soon. Peace, y'all.